Okay, so if you followed on up to this step of the tutorial, at this stage we're going to be styling our first initial background, the background for our main content area. Now the files we're going to be working with are still the basic tutorial files. Still the basic tutorial file contained in your resource folder. The tutorial file contains your resource folder. That is file we're working with. I'll write this one over here. What you're gonna do now at this stage, I have a mind of styling the main content background area to have a 3D effect and a must be effect, as if it's lifted off the platform of the background. Trust me, it presents more aesthetic value that way. So to begin with, let's just apply a couple number of basic layer styles to it. To apply layer styles, ensure that this layer is selected. Click on your move tool, select auto select from this option right over here. Click on auto select. Ensure that here is set to layers and not group layers, and then click on this white background just once. Then go over to your layers panel. Recall how you get to your layers panel. You go into your window. You either go into your window, click on layers, or you just locate the icon on the left hand side, that if it's there, called layers. Now we're going to apply some some blending options to it. To do this, what you should do is you right click on the layer, right click once, click on blending option. See that? Click on it. Now we're going to apply a bevel and emboss effect to it. Click on bevel and emboss. We're going to crank this up to about 700. Take it to about 700. Notice what's going on at the background. That's okay. Size, we're gonna leave it at 3. We're gonna leave smooth soften at 0, and the angle, let's just play around with that until we have something that is desirable. I think this should do. Should serve. And then shadow mode, let's just play around with the controls. We're going to change this to green so it rhymes to the background we're actually working with. This is a darkened version of green. Okay, we're going to change this angle so it reflects from all sides. That means here and here. Okay, let's leave it at that. Now we're going to change this curves, our gloss curve. Click on the small arrow close to this half triangle over here, and click on this one right here. It should be loaded automatically for you in every Photoshop version. Now altitude, leave that at 79. Opacity, let's just take it up a little bit, and that should be okay. Okay, now notice how our background has a 3D effect to it, like it's actually coming out of the main background over here. Now we're going to add a few more styles to it to make it more aesthetic, to increase the aesthetic value of our main content area. Okay, so we're going to apply a few more layer styles to it to just improve the aesthetic value. Okay, let's just go into our blending option, same way we did it earlier. Right click, blending option, click on color overlay. Now this is red. I actually intend going for the red, but not this tone of red, so I'm just going to crank this down a little bit. I'm going to take it down a little. Now you could either use this number, these hash numbers right over here to reference the color choices I'm using, the colors I'm actually using, or you could basically just use your intuition, use your own sense, as in just think of what you think you like and just go along with it. There's no rule of law written anywhere about what colors you're to use. Okay, so just watch the tone of colors I use, make your choices, decide on what you want to do. Okay, so for this actually, after selecting this, we have 670202 as our color number. So if you want to reference that, you could use that. Click on OK. Now notice how after we apply the color overlay, our bevel and emboss effect now has more of a black tone to it than the green tone. Now to adjust this, we're going to go back into our bevel and emboss, and we're going to change this color from green to something of red. Something of red. Let's see. I'm still not getting the effect I want, so just play around with it, play around with the colors. You always find something you like, something that works for you. Okay. This should do it. Just click OK. We're gonna come over here. We're also gonna need to readjust the size of our content area, so it makes it easy for cutting later on. So that's all for that. And let's just see what this does. I crank this up a little bit. That's too much. I think 9 looks quite okay. Looks more pronounced. Click on OK. Let's zoom this to actual pixels. Always ensure you work in actual pixels, so the result of your design doesn't look different when you actually deploy it. Ensure your zoom setting is set to actual pixels always, except on very rare occasions where you need to actually zoom down or zoom in. Okay, so this should do it. This should work. I actually think the bevel and emboss has become too much, so let's just take it down a little bit more. Okay, I think this should do it. Okay. Now this will be our main content area, though a few more styling is going to be coming, a few more background options are going to be coming over this, but as for now this should work. Okay, let's add our top white content area, the white background content area. To do this, we're going to use I'm going to show you a technique for actually applying several layers without applying the outlines of a layer on top of a layer without actually applying the styles you've applied to it. Now what you should do is this: you're going to hold down the Ctrl key. Create a new layer first. Hold down the Ctrl key. Click on this white thumbnail for our main content area over here. What this does essentially is that it selects. So you click on the vector marks too. This one right over here. Just click on it just once. What this does essentially, it selects the outline of the shape contained in that particular layer. Now you notice how we have this matching ants marquee stuff all abounding on our main content area that we styled earlier. So now we're going to use this in applying a little on that layer over this previous layer. To do this, you just click on the layer you created earlier, the new layer you created earlier. Click on it once and specify the color to be white. I want to specify the color to be white, and hold Control or Alt Delete to apply the color white to it. Now notice how our background is no longer visible after we did this. This is because we are applying the outline directly over our initial design, our initial background. Now to adjust for this, what we're going to do, we're going to actually resize or transform this particular layer we just created. Click on it once. Now you're going to use the shortcut key Ctrl+T to transform. Or basically, you could go into your edit menu and click on free transform. Get that? You either go into your free menu and click on free transform, or use the shortcut keys Ctrl+T. After that, you're going to come right over here in your menu bar, click on this chain link tool, this chain link icon over here. Click on it once to lock it down. What this does essentially, it locks the dimension of the height and the width together, So whatever changes you make to the height affects the width. Now that's what we want to do. We want to reveal a little bit of the background from every edge of this white background. Now we're just gonna take this down a little bit. Take it down so you can see what's going on. Now we have a little part of our initial background visible. Let's just take this up a little bit. Let's say 99%. 99%. That's okay. Now you're gonna hit the enter key to apply the changes. Okay, so you notice the edges are now visible from this. So we're gonna be doing so much with that initial red background we applied there. So just stay focused, try your hand around this and see what you come up with. And you could try several different color variations, like going to your blending options, check different color overlay effect, different color overlay options. You just try different color overlay options, see whatever you like, but advisably I'll advise to leave it at white as of now. Just leave it at white. Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave this at white. Okay, so that's nice. We have a basic design as of now. It's just basic. Okay, so if you recall earlier when we loaded our option into it, so try your hand around this and see what you can come up with. We're gonna get back in next video and we're gonna apply a few more styling to the whole background.